Time flows in contradictions since the invasion. There's an unexpected slowness in the aftermath of an impossible victory. A languid sweetness of air, tasted by the hapless victor. And yet, I also feel the turning of change, and the accumulated minutiae that falls to the survivors. Corpses to be burned, fortifications to be rebuilt, neophytes to be blooded. Regardless of our losses, we are the angels of death, and we are always prepared for war. Not that these are concerns for the fledgling Primaris right now. Balfora is an unforgiving tutor. Dante says that you are blood angels. Prove it! Show me that the blood of the great angel flows within your veins.
We fight and we die for the Imperium. Death to the Xenos swarm. The enemy. Push them back! We are the sons of Sanguinius. We are the lords of the assault doctrine. We are the fury of Sanguinius.
There can only be victory. You will fall before me.
We are the Bloodblades of Skyfall. Battle line squad ready. Your orders. Open fire! We are the lords of the assault doctrine. Battle line squad ready. I hear something. Ready to strike! Crushing enemies of the Imperium! To the sky, brothers! The swarm has no right to live!
My fury will be fast. You will fall before me.
Your orders. Engaging the enemy.
You can fight. I'll give you that. I don't know yet if you truly are scions of Sanguinius, or just some ruse of the Archmagos. Battle will decide. It always does.
Immediate assistance required. Tyranides converge at the Volkscaster relay on the Cell Veritas western edge.
Form on me, brothers. It appears Balfora has decided she's not yet done with you.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. People are born, they live, they suffer, and die. Rarely of natural causes. Days prior to the fall of Cadia, Dante faced his greatest challenge. High Fleet Leviathan had broken through the Krypton shield, and the Tyranides bore directly for the sacred homeworld of the Blood Angels, Baal. Sons of Sanguinius rallied from the far corners of the galaxy. Complete strangers died side by side as brothers. Yet even this unprecedented congregation could not hold back the Great Devourer. In their darkest moment, the Blood Angels gathered around Lord Commander Dante, a last stand. They gave themselves to the Red Thirst and stood in defiance of the alien. Not for survival, for the chapter was doomed, but for the honor of their sire, the great angel Sanguinius. And then, pandemonium, the cicatrix maledictum opened and tore the galaxy in two. Time stretched, contorted. Demons of Khorne poured across the moon of Baal Primus, tearing at Xenos and Marines alike. Havoc reigned. But just as quickly as it appeared, the cicatrix maledictum contracted. It took with it both the demons and vast swathes of High Fleet Leviathan. In their place, the Indomitus Crusade appeared, helmed by the avenging sun himself, Primarch Robute Guilliman. The blessed Primarch didn't just bring relief to Baal. He brought with him the Primaris Space Marines, thousands bearing the mark of the Blood Drop. The Primaris were larger, stronger, more resilient than their firstborn brethren. But to the Blood Angels, they represented a different kind of salvation. The promise of these super soldiers was of an improved gene line, more pure and closer to that of Sanguinius. Away from prying ears, Archmagos' call whispered that they showed fewer signs of the flaws that plagued the great angel's blood. No more thirst beating at their hearts. No more armor to be painted black. A semblance of normality has since returned to Baal. The monolithic Indomitor's crusade prepares to leave. Commander Dante, now Lord Regent of half of the Imperium, works to heal his chapter and Baal of the trauma suffered at the hands of Leviathan. And on the moon Baal Secundus, Sergeant Carlion hurries to the aid of a sanguinary priest.
The promise of battle makes his Primaris restless, eager. It is my duty to assess their potential here on the Salts of Balfora. Through combat, I intend to discover who these red-armored giants truly are. Some of them take in the vistas of the Salt like bored tourists. There's little regard for the skies and sands that shaped our father. They will learn quickly, or Balfora will kill them. She does not tolerate laxity. I expect this priest we find will also be new to his role. There is no reason other than youthful ignorance to risk the angel's blood on the Salts. In these days following Leviathan's devastation, we are a chapter awash with fresh blood.
Sergeant, with the relay offline, I was afraid only the Xenos had heard my calls for backup. Make haste. My reductor still has work to do.
As you say, brother. The Bloodblades of the Eighth are ever eager to serve the sanguinary priesthood.
The blood of Sanguinius flows in my veins. My chainsword thirsts for their blood. My duty is service.
The Swarm has no right to live!
Sanguinius watches over us.
Ready to strike! Forward! Thin their numbers! They will not overwhelm us! Taking fire! taking fire! Ugh.
That is the last of the progenoids that I can gather here. Your assistance has been noted, Sergeant.
Carleon. Sergeant Carleon of the 8th. This is Matano. Respond, brother.
Captain Matano. You found the rank, brother. Use it.
These council meetings are a swift reminder of how unqualified the title feels. Pray distract me from all this talk of logistics and recovery. Give me your assessment of the Primaris.
They're still courting beautiful Balfora. Plenty of corns remain for them to stretch their muscles. They've just finished intervening on behalf of Brother Arturo, in fact.
The priest. I sent him with Pentasio to clear the Xenos pools west of the flats. Where is the sergeant?
Dead, along with his men. Sergeant Pentasio insisted I retreat from the alien pools with the few progenoids I had, right before his own throat was crushed. There was a foul presence among the alien towers.
Show me. Take me to where you left Pentasio to die, priest. You will recover our brother's remaining gene seed, despite whatever you think lurks within those festering pits. It is regrettable that Brother Arturo presented himself from a position of weakness. That is far different than how a blood angel is typically introduced to the sanguinary priesthood. I must hope the first impression is not lasting on these Primaris. In fairness, Brother Arturo's disregard of our new brothers does himself no justice either. He overlooks their potential and sees only vat-grown test subjects with no worldly experience. I understand the root of the priest's skepticism. A century ago, I also would not have claimed any brother who had not supped from the blood chalices. But a century ago, I would not have believed that I would see us rescued from the brink of extinction. By Primarch Gilliman, no less. Brother Arturo's concern is that I would throw us headlong into death as some sort of penance for this guilt that weighs me. I am honor-bound to avenge my company, brother. But I know that we must act pragmatically. Pentasio had the skill and experience of a dozen full-blooded assault marines with him when he was bested. We will take this opportunity to retrace Brother Arturo's footsteps and rearm ourselves prior to breaching the infestation site. There are few problems that cannot be solved with a plasma weapon, in my experience.
These scattered remains have little left to recover. I doubt there is much here I can harvest.
This is more than mere execution. The alien will suffer for this butchery.
More targets are coming!
Sergeant, Captain Matano said we would find you here. We've been sent to help with your recovery mission.
The aid is welcome. I do not wish to needlessly add to the bodies here. bunkers secure. We'll take what we need. The logistician will catalogue the rest.
Picked up movement on the Auspex. Taking fire!
Area secured. As you anticipated, there's little of our brothers here to recover. Pray the Pentasio's gene seed remains undefiled. It is grim work you undertake, priest.
It is not a task that I relish. The scale of our chore makes for comfortless service. In some ways, I'm glad I've been relegated to this moon, where the bodies of our brothers are only stacked by the dozen.
The priest continues to natter in my ear about the Primaris. They have not yet shown any sign of the Black Rage, but we have both witnessed the thirst present within them. They don't yet understand the tightening of their cheeks, the sanguine flush of their skin come battle. No matter how well they think they hide it, these Primaris share our blood, and its defects. The red thirst claws at their hearts. Let us see what becomes of it once they face the beast that killed Pentasio. Know your duty and discharge it above all else. That is the core of an Astartes being, and the reason I am led to these festering pits. I have my duty to Pentasio and to 8th Company. To have survived Leviathan, only to be laid low by these scrap remnants. I do not deserve the honor of recovering his name. But if it is the Emperor's will, I will see it done. This is your beast, brother. It is but a mindless Tyrannofex.
Its behavior was not this senseless before. Something of it has changed.
Aye, Pentasio would not have fallen to this. Come, our duty is clear. You retrieve his gene seed, and we will exact his revenge on the brute. Winius watches over us.
The blood is strong! Do not falter! My chainsword thirsts for their blood. I've recovered Sergeant Pentasio's gene seed. His legacy will endure within the angelic host.
Praise Sanguinius! Mark this location for the Logisticium servitors. These cursed pinnacles shall spoil Balfora's skin no longer.
The inconsistency displayed by the alien troubles me. There was no sign of the cognition and strategy that prevailed upon us before.
You do not have to explain, brother. There was clearly a disparity between the beast we faced and the one that bested Pentasio.
But it was still the same creature.
Aye, but previously steered by the will of another.
A synaptic network. That does not bode well for your moon.
I could not hide my conflict while I gave Matano my assessment. I have no doubt now that something of Sanguinius exists within these Primaris. But they move through a world not yet scaled for them. A universe not yet ready for their weight. They would have been in their prime had they been here days earlier, when the hordes of Xenos were infinite and unrelenting. Now, they clean up remnants, taking steps that once belonged to my lost brothers. They look like children playing at guardsmen. The significance of Pentasio's death was lost on the novice priest, but Matano understood the threat immediately. If a synaptic leader still lives on Balfora, then it has remained undetected all this time. A threat left to fester. For that reason, the captain has sent me to scour the heaven wall. The range is bewildering to the new recruits. A maze of shock-riven valleys and impenetrable mountain trails. With only a fraction of cunning, a Tyranid beast could lurk here undetected for generations. And then, violently. Over a century's worth of instinct propels me towards the explosion. My orders are followed immediately, the rest of the detachment on my heels without question. Balfora holds surprises for us yet, brothers.
Damn pests! Even in death they do nothing but irritate.
The probability complex decays. Aid arrives as predicted.
I did not expect to see a dreadnought this far from the Angelicum, let alone one of the librarians. And your Primaris novices speak of wasted potential.
Ours is not to question. Go, brothers. Relieve the librarian.
Appreciated, Sergeant. But if those Promethean flow controls aren't shut down, it's not just the Gaunts that are going to end up incinerated over here.
Understood. We'll see to it, Tech Marine.
A regular day if we didn't avert certain death, only to discover another source of certain death waiting for us.
For the glory of Sanguinius. Fear me, for I am doomed. I must resist.
Tech Marine, standing by. Charlie on. Battalion. Require urgent encoded response.
I have orders directly from the Red Council.
I hear dissent among the Librarius. They are concerned a synaptic network binds Balfora.
You've already found the librarian. Good. Protect him. He can help uncover whatever evil is hiding in the Heaven Wall. Do not tarry, Carleon. I do not like the tone this Red Council has taken.
What needs fixing?
Targets acquired.
I sense that was the last of the Xenos threat in the immediate area.
We are honored to fight by your side, Brother Librarian. I would ask after your purpose out here, but it seems we both have a new objective to see to.
I can't tally the number of times some captain has overcommitted to his own hyperbole. We've got our own work to do.
I'm afraid our own mission will be overridden, Brother Proginax. There are some in the Librarius that believe Leviathan returns.
That? No. That can't be true.
And yet sages far older and wiser than you now argue otherwise. They conjecture that a strong enough synaptic network could guide the Hive fleet back from the warp, like a beacon in the storm. I do not know the truth of this. Regardless, the Sergeant will require my help if he is to find his prey in these mountains.
We'll take you to the lensing array then. Quinter's gonna need it if he's to stay awake scrying for your pests. Don't make him wait while you scratch yourselves thinking about it.
Tana voxes in and talks to Quindar and I of synaptic beasts and the theorizing of the Librarius. A synapse network with enough of a link to the hive mind could, in theory, act as a beacon and guide the fleets of Leviathan. Bring them through the warp back to Baal. In theory. A lot of work is done between those two words. I don't doubt Matano finds the bureaucracy of his new role a challenge. It is a rare puzzle he cannot solve with a swing of his sword arm. I do not question the Emperor's will, but I must admit the survival weighs heavy within me. To have witnessed thousands of brothers sacrifice themselves. Entire chapters struck from the annals of history. Only for this threat of Leviathan to persist. It would be a lie to say the thought does not trouble me. Until the Librarians better understand the threat, our objective is to find and exterminate all synaptic leadership embedded in the Heaven Wall. To that end, I am escorting Brother Librarian Quindar to the astropathic relay. His hazy talk of warp aberrations and exigent anomalies is of little comfort, but his resolve is clear, and I will welcome his presence when the time comes for battle. The Tech Marine as well, despite his unique manner.
They are a plague on this moon. For every one slain, a dozen emerge from every other corner.
That's enough poetics from you. Quindar needs direct access to that lensing array. We recalibrate it to focus his divinations, and then you'll find every disruption in the warp from here to the Angelicum.
I am the sword of Sanguinius.
I have activated the lensing array. I will catalog all warp aberrations indicative of synaptic Xenos activity.
Hold this area against the Tyranides, brothers. Leave none of the Xenos filth alive. The librarian must complete his work.
No more Xenos immediately present. I require assistance with this array, Brother Progenitus.
Aye. Take your time. How about we fine-tune those sensors without mincing your nervous system? What's left of it in that coffin, at least.
I can see their network spread out before me. The weave and weft of their corruption runs deep through Baal Secundus.
I trust your insights. Of the words sour the victory.
We will find every corruption that lurks in the shadows of your moon, Lieutenant. I can see now that our journey together is not yet finished.
I am no lieutenant, brother. That rank has not existed for 10,000 years.
Lord Gilliman has revised the Codex Astartes. You will be among the first of Sanguinius' sons to bear the title anew. Martana will vox in due course the news of your promotion. Until then, I need time to catalog these nodes. On this hallowed ground, every one of us fought with tooth and bloody nail for the chance to become angels. When I first walked beneath these statues, I had not yet taken the great angel's blood. I did not foresee to do so again would be from within my own sarcophagus. Confronted with the measureless and the inexhaustible, I am left with only half answers. I pull Lieutenant Carleon from his musings of guilt and tell him that synaptic aberrations resonate from this place. I do not lie. But I do not tell him the static is secondary to why I bring him here. A whisper reaches out to me from beyond the heaven wall. With nothing else known, how am I to know whose voice it is I follow? I heed the commands of the lieutenant, the rank resurrected and as bright as his pauldron gifted from the armory. But his is not the question that guides me here. There is no answer. I can only follow the voice north, follow it to this place of challenge, and pray for an answer to my eternal vigil.
These statues bring back memories I thought had long faded. They're nothing more than obsolete detritus to these Primaris, I expect.
I see no sign of the Xenos. You are sure the warp aberrations came from here, Brother Quinder?
Yes, Lieutenant. I cannot account for their absence. Perhaps there is a temporal element I have not accounted for.
You mean you were seeing into the past?
No, Tech Marine. There is no need for that particular concern. Prepare yourselves. The Tyranides know now that we are here.
Make some green fire! Defensive formation, now!
I sense a future adversary.
Let them hide in the shadows.
Brothers of the Assault Doctrine, your timing is impeccable.
Look at those jump packs. Seems Cole brought your replacement with him as well, regardless of your new pauldron.
More targets are coming!
target is beyond my vision. We will fall upon them with righteous fury.
Storm Raven en route. Targets acquired.
The area has been cleansed of Xenos presence. They will not return. The synaptic link remains.
Take in this moment. Very few get to fight within the place of challenge as a full-blooded Astartes.
Carleon, Matano, report.
We have finished securing the place of challenge. The reinforcements were greatly appreciated. Brother Quindar is taking us to another synaptic cluster from here.
With haste, brother. You bear a cascade of orders from myself to Dante to the Avenging Sun himself. Lord Gilliman is reluctant to leave while this question mark of a synaptic network remains. Do not keep the Indomitus Crusade waiting.
There is a disturbance amongst the radiation. It was once stronger, but has dwindled in days past. Is it guidance, or the promise of another threat, like Leviathan? I see myself standing among spectres. My hands once more, flesh. They are unable to hold back the sword that pierces my chest, seeking my heart's blood. I look down, and only feel the fists of this war machine. The whisper pulls again. It says nothing, but it is a presence all the same. It is not a synaptic aberration, but I tell Carleon it must be. For what else would drive me here? Not much of Baal Secundus has surprised the new Primaris, but the threat of the Mortis Red Zones has their hearts beating furiously. Few things are more insidious than cultivating your death from the inside. This truth I know well. The whisper is ahead. Codicia Mordos, last known wielder of Galleon's staff. His fate following the invasion had been unknown to the Librarius.
Well, we've got a pretty good idea what happened to him now. No sign of that Falstaff, though. Would be a damn disgrace to lose that relic out here.
I am duty-bound to recover the Codicia's gene seed. Even if it is tainted by the radiation, High Priest Corpula may have use for it in his research.
Careful, Primaris. These Mortis Red Zones are subtle killers. Even behind your power armor, you are not entirely safe.
Targets acquired.
The Codicia's gene seed has been recovered. No sign of his relic near the body. Shame. I wish to see the weapon that Brother Corpula argued so vigorously over.
Command received.
Xenos life forms have been eliminated, and the Codicia's gene seed is safe with Brother Ettore.
You know, I tried recreating Galleon's stick once. Spent 200 days in the forge putting together an exact replica. Couldn't get a sliver of effect.
What did you do with it?
Snapped it in half. Shattered my kneecap in the process. Not my finest moment, I'll admit.
The synaptic network remains our primary focus. Galleon's relic won't be of much help if High Fleet Leviathan envelops us with its return.
Walls of a myriad years surround me. Left over from a nuclear devastation. I focus, and the aberrant network in the flow of the warp returns. A synaptic cluster waits, with Galleon's staff at its heart. A lure, or a coincidence, I do not know. It is difficult to focus on the words around me. Through the haze I can see my brothers avoid discussion of the Black Rage while in my company. Knowing looks between priest and techmarine that the Primaris remain oblivious to. I fortify myself, a step diminished to an inch, facing the precipice we forever walk towards. I will take Carleon to this fortification and crush the Synapse network. My duty remains eternal. Synaptic Leader Cluster Node is present. Their fate will be extermination.
Aye, and there's Force weaponry in those ruins as well. I can feel it.
I am the Sword of Sanguinius.
Storm Raven en route.
Galleon's staff is secured. The metaphor of this thing isn't lost on me. These Primaris have even less use for this relic than we do.
The Emperor watches all, brother. You still have purpose and duty.
The Synapse Leader Cluster has been eliminated. The network weakens.
Had I more time, I would find a way for Quindar to use this relic. A precautionary measure until he can return to the Arx Angelicum.
I understand your concern, Brother Krogenax. But we race Leviathan itself, and should not further risk the safety of this historic relic. I can bide my humors myself. For now, call for the Logisticium, Lieutenant. They should return this force staff to the chapter armory with haste.
I must remind myself that our presence on this moon is not an expulsion from Baal proper. It is for Lord Guilliman's sake, not ours, that Commander Dante sends us to Baal Secundus. The Primarch is splendor, but he is clearly uncomfortable in our presence, particularly with those of my sisters who display more fervor than diplomacy. Commander Dante has requested that we relocate our mission to the moon of Baal Secundus, at least until Lord Guilliman musters Indomitus and departs the Red Scar. While Canoness Martilia continues to counsel Dante, I have been commanded to take my sisters and attach to the 8th Company of the Blood Angels. I understand the Lieutenant's promotion is new, but he is already experienced with the synaptic leadership that compels the Xenos here. While our objectives align, my bolter and my faith are his. We will bring the Emperor's light to the darkest crevasses of these mountains. We will incinerate the alien. And we will honor the sacrifices made here on Baal Secundus. Lives lived for the Emperor are never cut short.
Damn Xenos! The more we hunt them, the more emboldened they become. Let us go see if the Sister Superior made it to the Sky Shield.
We are his shield, Indomitable. by his will. Target engaged.
Their death is our only option. A fine welcome to Balfora. Does Sister Verity number among you?
I'm afraid not, Lieutenant. She was in the other Stormraven.
Do not worry, Sister. We'll clear this landing zone of Tyranides and then go retrieve your superior.
Assuming she doesn't come to your aid first, Astartes.
Stormraven en route.
That appears to be the last of them. Let's go find this sister the Red Council sent to help us.
Not the entrance I had expected to make. But the Emperor protects, and dozens of Xenos surround me, eager to be purged by his wrath. The 2 pilots of our transport are dead, along with half a dozen of our sisters. The Emperor knows their names now. If nothing else, this should be a test of that infamous Blood Angel's celerity. Perhaps some of these alien scum will still be alive by the time the Astartes reach us. Unlikely, but the Emperor's blessing has put me in a charitable mood. Lieutenant, I was led to believe you Blood Angels preferred to work quickly.
The Emperor watches over you, Superior Verity Alodia. I did not relish the thought of reporting your death to the Red Council so soon after your deployment.
This isn't the first time my transport has been shot out from beneath me, Lieutenant.
Secure the crash site. The Logistician will want to recover this wreckage.
Its ire is inflamed, and just as likely to impale than trample you.
Taking fire!
They wish to duel.
Relieve the sisters. The Xenos have cost us enough already.
Targets acquired.
Decent fight. I see the ferocity of the Blood Angels has not been dulled by recent events.
And neither is the skill of the Sororitas overstated. Welcome to Baal Secundus, Sister Superior.
Canoness Martilia is a stoic woman. I have seen her cut down traitors in front of their families, slain heretics as they scrawl unholy scriptures in their cradles. She is not queasy in the face of bloodshed. She knew what we came here for. She understands clearly our objective to cleanse the synaptic network from this moon. She is also aware, perhaps more than these blood angels, that the true danger of the Tyranides is not in their frontal assaults, but the insidious corruptions they leave behind. While my sisters establish our mission at Angel's Fall, I will accompany the Lieutenant to the Factorum of Kemrenda. It remains abandoned, at least by the locals. No doubt we will find the walls of Kemrenda filled with myriad alien to be purged. Carlian insists there is only one way into the fortress and one way out. It doesn't surprise me these super soldiers remain oblivious to the holes and gutters in which vermin find their entrance. It is not my place to correct the Lieutenant in front of his men, not when he bears the commands of Lord Guilliman on his shoulders. The Primarch himself waits for word of our success. I will not hesitate to bring the Emperor's light to this backwater. There will be no ground left for sin and heresy to fester.
Gaunts as far as the eye can see.
If I did not know better, I'd think the witless beasts are purposefully holding this location.
Undoubtedly the work of that warrior pod. Let's be quick about routing them. We are ill-equipped for a prolonged siege. Only be victory.
Taking fire.
Impedance acknowledged.
Firing.
That's the last of them out here.
I've no doubt more are hiding within these walls. With luck, they have not yet had time to nest and hide among the people of your moon. Let us proceed, Lieutenant. We have abominations to purge. Martilia's suspicions have proved correct. Gene stealers infest the largest factorum on this moon. It is crucial that they are eradicated before the native population can be compromised. The Space Marines don't understand the true danger of this abhorrent threat. It is tragic evidence of how far they have strayed from their mortal origins. They don't understand that these Xenos are more than just targets for their rifles. If even one gene stealer should escape here, every person that survived Leviathan will have done so for naught. They will all die. Not tomorrow, nor the next day. But the infection will linger, biding its time, eventually overwhelming this moon, Baal, and the entirety of the Red Scar. I will see this Xenos disease purged to the very last. For the Emperor's will is that no alien be suffered to live. There is no truth but the truth of the Emperor. They crawl through every street. We must take our time, Lieutenant. Be certain that not one single gene stealer survives. I do not want Lord Dante to have to repeat the fate of Baal's other moon.
Exterminatus will not be required, sister. We will clear these Kemrenda streets until we no longer walk on salt, but the ash of Xenos remains. Be victory.
The Emperor is with us. No mercy!
Taking fire!
Do not open our flanks to surprise attacks while manipulating these gates.
That is surely the last of the filth. You would rest, sister?
You would not ask that of your brothers. Come, we must proceed to the rotten core of this factorum. We will cleanse it with flame and blade. Many of the Blood Angels have no affinity for this place, particularly the Primaris. But I see differently in Carlian's demeanor. He grew from the salts of this moon. The memory of this place flows through him as strongly as his lifeblood, almost as strong as his guilt. The Lieutenant does not know that I've been listening to his voxcast with Captain Martano. Some of my prior famulous habits die hard. Emperor, forgive me. Indomitus becomes impatient for us to sever this network, as does the Blood Angels' Logisticium. The Crusade is comprised of millions of people. Their continued presence puts a unique strain on Baal and its inhabitants. The Librarian Dreadnought updates our bearings through this factorum. I will continue to keep an eye on this brother Quindar. He speaks in half-truths at best. Yet our progress is entirely dependent on his ability to scry the synaptic nodes. There is something sinister these Blood Angels keep from me. They choose their words carefully whenever I'm in earshot. If they did not have the Great Angel as their sire, I would have difficult questions to consider.
The core of this synaptic node waits for us here.
It's easy to imagine this beating heart of Kemrender alive. Merchants, brokers, thieves. Their minds open pathways for heresy and greed.
Let us find this synaptic creature and sever it from its network.
They challenge us from afar! They challenge us from afar!
Command received.
Explains a number of corns we've been seeing. It's had all this time to birth its own defense force.
The alien has converted Kemrender into a fortified creche for the gene stealers. This is more sophisticated than expected.
Its reach is large, but it is not the foundation. We have yet to unmask the weaver of this network.
Confirmed and en route.
The synaptic leader is vanquished. Another node of the network darkens.
It will take the servitors months to clean all of this up. I fear your mighty salt fort may not be habitable for some time, Lieutenant.
They will persist, sister. The people of the Salt always do. As long as they have somewhere to come back to, then we have done all that we can for them.
Xenos swarm the homeland of Sanguinius. Talons rake across powered armor beneath the stony benevolence of our father. The synaptic core is restless. I am restless. black dam is breaking. I see hands of flesh before me. I pick up my rifle. I know the angel is near, but his screams are deafening. I want to raise my hands to my ears, but they are metal again. And my head is confined within this coffin. The network wavers. The Adepta Sororitas tending to Angel's Fall are being overrun. Sister Verity will receive a Vox requesting reinforcements. She will comply, and will learn something she does not want to. The liberation of Angel's Fall awaits our arrival.
Cursed Xenos! Torch them in the fires of the Emperor's light. Prevail upon them his infinite hatred for the alien.
Xenos' entry vector is southwesterly. More will reach the walls in due time.
Go! Relieve the sisters. The Blood Angels do not stand by while our allies fight our battles for us.
We are the Sisters of Battle.
Storm strike ready.
Have faith. We continue his work through to our last breath. Only then do we rest.
We will fall upon them with righteous fury.
I am the vanguard of the faith.
Heavy close support.
The bleeding is stemmed for now. The flow will begin again if the wound is not cauterized.
Where do we go to stop them?
Wind River Canyon. The Xenos can be held there, but it will cost you.
Our lives are the Emperor's to spend. We will hold them at the canyon. Superior Verity, your sisters require your help here. Your aid until now has been invaluable. But my brothers and I must proceed alone.
I was tasked to see your mission through to completion, Lieutenant. I have no intention of failing the Canoness nor Commander Dante in front of the Lord Primarch. Have faith. My sisters will persevere with or without our help. And I will not rest until Baal Secundus is scoured of the Xenos infestation.
What flowed into Angel's Fall was but a trickle compared to the flood that waits for us in the canyon. The Wind River pulls me along. Knowing the dam, I will find in its heart. If we hold the canyon, we will yet have a chance to wrest Balfora from this net. Even now, her sands shift beneath me. I walk the corridors of the vengeful spirit, though I have never set foot on it. The echo of boots through metal corridors. I cannot go yet. Minutes, hours later, I awaken, and Balfora returns. Wind River. Two aberrations in the weave of things, holding each other in place. We are about to break them both.
Great Angel. My brothers.
What abominations do I bear witness to?
Something you weren't supposed to see, sister. Those are brothers of the Death Company.
They look like they've been fighting here since Leviathan first landed.
Do not look on them in despair, brothers. They have bought Angel's fall this time. Their sacrifice honors Sanguinius.
Eat them all! Victory.
Command received.
Your will be done.
Their death is our only option.
We are the fear that strikes at their hearts.
Taking fire. Let's test our armor.
For the glory of Sanguinius!
The flow of Xenos has been slowed. We have completed the work of the unredeemed.
And yet it was not just the alien that debased themselves. Those soldiers. There may be little humanity left in you Space Marines, but those men were perversions in the eyes of the Emperor.
Were it not for them, your mission would have been overrun days ago. Those tireless warriors were the only thing holding the Tyranids back from Angel's Fall.
The respite is temporary. A cluster of aberrations awaits us at the canyon's end. Resolution is inevitable. A knot of aberrations waits for us at the leaping. They want to push forward, burst from their net, but the weft that holds them back is too strong. Voices echo down corridors. I hear brothers running, shouts of battle taken to the traitors. Not yet. Inevitable, but not yet. Kroginax has watched me. He knows. He should act now. Take me from the vengeful spirit. Take me from the sands of Balfora. Take me to the Redeemer of the Lost. The Tech Marine knows I am the lighthouse in the dark. And the sister suspects. She does not say out loud, but her emotions ring clarion clear. Witnessing the black has shaken her, has made her question, who will she confess to? Carleon's trigger finger twitches at the question. Only in death are secrets kept. You're close. But this is not it. The core aberration. I just need vision.
The Harpy will be easy pickings for the beast while exposed up here.
Never mind that. Every gaunt this side of the heaven wall knows we're here now thanks to that infernal screeching.
Defensive formation! We will be the shield that breaks them. Flood this valley with the blood of the Xenos.
The peak from which you jumped as a boy, Carleon. You watched the sky fall away. I need to share your vision.
You heard him. Clear the way to that pinnacle. He's been awake too damned long already.
My vigilance is eternal. Only in death will my duty be completed.
Victory is inevitable. Firing.
I'll make their mistake.
Your will be done.
There is static reaching out. We must go. The cities of the dead. Within the aberration. The core.
Carleon, report.
We are at Angel's Leap. Brother Quindaris. He says we are close. We will find the synaptic core within the Ghostlands.
Carleon, you need to finish this now. Lord Guilliman is moments away from sending Kate Sicarius to complete the job for you. Lord Dante's honor is the currency we spend for every hour the Tyranid network remains. May Sanguinius prove my trust in you was not misplaced. Find the synaptic leader, Carleon. You kill it, or you die by its hands. Don't come back to Baal until one of those is true.
The Ghostlands. Baal 4 has grown up and over these ruins for more than 12,000 years. The specters of civilizations past watch us. From before the blood. Before the nuclear rain. I do not know if the Tyranides that infest these ruins can truly contact the hive mind, and whether they can guide Leviathan back. Even now, that is only conjecture and theory. But what I do know is that the honor of our chapter is wholly dependent on a librarian we are losing to the Black Rage. It pains me to watch him deteriorate. We all stood on that precipice just days ago. To be beaten, restored, yet still fall short of grace. I have to trust that Brother Quindar can maintain the serenity to stay with us to the end. It will cost many of us our lives to subdue him were he to fall now. And I already stand on the shoulders of too many dead brothers. As for the Sister Superior, she has seen too much of the darkness that we contend with. Her scrutiny is unsettling. I will consider how best to deal with our esteemed ally once the threat of this synaptic leader has been eliminated.
Even the dust of a city long dead is not safe from their unending hunger.
The only purpose of this filth is consumption, all to fuel the greater entity for its own sake. Their hollow existence will be short-lived before the Emperor's might.
I can hear! Our father is under attack! I am coming, my lord! My sword is yours! None shall stand in my way! Death to the traitor!
Quindar! Not yet! Cursed blood! Not yet!
We pursue Brother Quindar, his psycho powers launching the heavy dreadnought ahead of us. The corpses of Tyranides are cast aside like ragdolls. We run deeper into the ruins, but we lose the librarian to the darkened halls of this dead city. Shadows creep in on us. The Xenos test, lunging, fainting. My brothers tear them apart, but it is only a matter of time before the darkness is unleashed and crushes us all. An explosion! Frontenac runs ahead, the Tech Marine more limber than I have ever seen him. We run and are confronted with a violent tableau, both beautiful and tragic.
Hive Tyrant!
The tyrant of Baal Fortunata.
Kill them! Kill them all! Let not one of them reach Brother Quindar's body.
Quindar. You found a rescue, after all.
Brother Quindar gave his life for the Imperium. The Emperor knows his name.
In all my service, I have never seen such unfettered power and rage.
He rests with Sanguinius now. Come, brothers! We will corner the tyrant and teach it in exquisite detail the wrath of the angelic host.
Carleon, the Battle Sister has seen too much. She watched a sanctioned psyker lose all self-control to the Black Rage. We can't let her walk out of here with that knowledge.
The Emperor guides us, brother. We will have our vengeance first. The sister's fate can be decided after. The Xenos infest these halls like a plague of rats. Cannot walk without crushing the skulls of their dead beneath your feet. This hive tyrant is the foundation of the Xenos resistance on Balfora. It is responsible for the coordinated attacks, for the precision strikes, for the uncanny formations. We have to sever the head. Without it, the body will fragment and fall to anyone with a bolter. I remember and count every death that has brought us here. The sacrifices of my brothers will not be in vain. This infection will be purged. The tyrant dies today. Beneath your feet, those of you who spill your blood today are true sons of Sanguinius, and will forever be my brothers. For Balfora, for the Great Angel, for the Emperor!
There will be poetry to their deaths. Light the fires of angel wings! Fall upon my blade!
Assault Terminators, ready for action!
We are indomitable.
Sanguinius watches out for us.
Heavy close support! Always forwards! We will fall upon them with righteous fury. Engaging target!
Firing. Storm Raven en route.
You shall know death by my hand. The network is dead. Call your blood. Savor this victory.
I have to attend the Dreadnought. In Kari, I will have my liver if we lose the machine spirit down here.
Go, brother. Tend to his body. Brother Quindar's sacrifice should be venerated and recounted with pride within our chapter.
I expect I will get to walk away just as easily, Lieutenant. Even after all that I have witnessed.
You understand nothing of what you saw.
At ease, brother. Sister Verity has a right to question. We wrestle with our curse every day. It is a testament to the sister's strength that she did not turn on us when faced with our chapter's darkest shadow.
Answer me truthfully, Carlion. Did you know the Psycho was falling when you brought us here? Were it not for the tyrant's talons, he may have jeopardized us all. Did you know? When I talk with Canoness Martilia, I will have to confess all to her. She will learn of your rogue librarian and the knife's edge you made us
I trust
walk.
you will tell her everything you need to, sister. The Emperor already judges our every decision. Should he find mine wanting, my life is his to spend. With time, the contradictions fade. Balfora continues to turn. Her people will slowly come back and begin to rebuild their lives. I am no longer needed here. My ghosts are at rest. There is already new work for us. The Primaris have proved the strength of their blood. Dante is eager to use them to cleanse the Red Scar. Baal is but one of thousands that we will wrest back from Leviathan. Our sword arms may tire, but our spirits cannot, so long as enemies of the Imperium remain. For we are the angels of death, and we are always prepared for war.